IVM.
Welcome to Absolutely Right. I am your host Aditi Surana. Today's topic, staying calm under pressure, is definitely the need of the hour. Bruce Lee referred to calmness as a superpower, whereas Billie Jean King, the legendary female tennis player who won 39 Grand Slam titles, said, "Pressure is a privilege, and it only comes to those who earn it." In today's short episode, let's explore what happens when the right amount of calmness meets the right kind of pressure. What does it take to stay calm under pressure to begin with? And 4 things that you can do to claim more calmness on a daily basis. If you're new here, let me fill you in. Absolutely Right Friday episodes are designed to create an actionable change. With every episode, we create a worksheet, or as we call it, Friday Fun Sheet, for you to commit to growth and take actions. This is a PDF document that you can download from my website, aditisurana.com/podcast. In my high performance coaching sessions, one of my favorite parts is called being intensely active and completely relaxed. A crucial performance factor mastered by great leaders, athletes, actors, artists, and even warriors. In simple words, they have cracked the code of being really calm under intense pressure. Most of the time, people understand calmness as sitting on a mountain or living in the ashram or even being away from the stressors of everyday life. However, I'm talking about bringing that mountain-like calmness in the middle of a heated argument in your meeting, while navigating through the city traffic, or juggling all the challenges that your current situation is bringing to you. Is that even possible? Let's try and understand it. Before we speak about calmness, let's decode pressure. When do you feel pressured? What makes you feel stressed? A financial crisis? A job situation? An argument with your colleague? A fight with your family member or your partner? Loss, failure, someone else's judgment of your appearance or your body? In order to find your calmness under pressure, you need to recognize your idea of pressure. Not my idea, not your mother's idea, but your own idea of pressure. No matter what is your battle or how strong is your monster, you can never be calm if you believe that you shouldn't be in this battlefield. You can never be collected if a part of you is fretting about being in this situation. Why do I have to deal with this? Why me? Why can't you look at it? Why should I solve other people's problems all the time? So, the first key here is to embrace the pressure. You must have seen people moving from one job to the other, one relationship to the next, and still complaining about the same things over and over again. We all go through those patterns. Do you know what is common between your past stressful situation and the current pressurizing problem? You. Every situation that stresses you is a gift. It is an indicator of what can still have hold over you. We are becoming the most anxious generation in the history of mankind. Can you believe this? And it happens because we are deeply convinced that pressure is unnecessary and undesirable. Unfortunately, we are constantly bombarded with ads or commercials that tell us happy life is an easy life. A happy marriage is when the couple is smiling or laughing. A successful leader is the one who is being appreciated and respected. And no one talks about the other side of the story. Unknowingly, we start dreading anything that looks close to uncomfortable, difficult, challenging. We try to minimize it or avoid it completely. Now, by embracing the pressure, you actually start asking different kind of questions. Okay, now that I'm here, how do I solve this? What is the best possible solution here? Second key, pressure is inversely proportional to your skill set. Remember the first day of being behind the wheel? Driving was so pressurizing. Remember the first time you spoke on the stage? You were clueless about what to do with your hands and how to pause and how to remember the lines. Or the first day of your job and how you kept checking on things over and over again. If necessity is the mother of invention, then pressure is the mother of performance. By avoiding pressure, you're actually avoiding your own performance, your growth, and your confidence. Yes, it is pressurizing to work in a high-risk job, run a business, raise a child, be in a marriage, work in a team, run a marathon, or fight a battle. Yes, it is. But we all grow when we go through this grind. We all technically grow through this grind. Third key, pressure shows you the mirror. No matter what you think about your confidence, performance, or abilities, pressurizing situations actually hold the mirror for you to see the truth. People may lie to you, friends may be polite, opponents may exaggerate your mistakes. But what you feel and do under pressure tells you exactly how capable you are to do the job or to deliver on the promises that you have made or even change what you need to change to up your game. I know every pressurizing situation is not this meaningful. Some things are genuinely irritating and annoying. But who said staying calm under pressure only means winning the battles or dealing with the pressures on the field? Who said it is not about things that are leading to the battle? 5 times world champion basketball player Kobe Bryant said, "I'll do whatever it takes to win the game, whether it is sitting on a bench and waving a towel, handing a cup of water to my teammate, or hitting a game-winning shot." Many of your inquiries and conversations are about pressure and stress that the situations are causing you. In fact, we are starting a new module called a monthly group coaching program on 3rd of October for anybody who's dealing with the similar pressurizing situations. This module is about specific methods, tools, and situations that you can apply and try to change your perspective at a deeper level. Now, if you're willing to play the game, then let me tell you how to stay calm under pressure. First, identify the acute pain area. Imagine one day you wake up with a shooting leg pain. You don't simply apply medicine all over your leg. You will take a moment and identify the acute pain area. Similarly, your job, your marriage, your financial situation is not causing you this pressure that you think it is. Some specific part of the situation is getting to you. So, separate the sheep from the goats. Ask yourself exactly what is getting to me. You'll realize that at least 2/3 of this pressurizing situation is actually not pressurizing. And you're actually struggling with some specific areas. Point number 2, grounding routine. Most people are busy with their everyday challenges. They don't get any time to recharge their batteries. Do you even know what grounds you? Maybe a barefoot walk in the park, spending time with your pet, an intense yoga or workout session, a singing class maybe, or meditation practice. Like bathing, brushing your teeth, you need to definitely recharge your mind and create this grounding routine. It need not be fancy, it can be really practical and simple, but you should know that that recharges your battery. That's a great example to talk about. Most of the time dealing with pressurizing situation is like using your phone. And if it runs out of battery, no matter how cool your apps are, you can't actually use them. So similarly, you have to recharge yourself by choosing any grounding activity. Point number 3, journaling. Staying calm and building skills requires observation, analysis, and course correction. Physically write down all your thoughts. If you're using the same formula and expecting different results, then no matter how hard you try, you're not going to get the result you're looking for. So take a moment and handwrite your journaling assignments, write all the questions that are solution oriented, and if it is done correctly, it will help you slow down and watch your own patterns. Point number 4, graphotherapy. Like Zentangle and doodling, this part of graphology is my favorite. It not only allows you to calm your mind, but actually programs you to function in a certain way. We have created a 21 days anti-anxiety journaling workshop in this lockdown for anybody to give it a shot, to deal with anxiety and all the other challenges that people go through. Remember, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Absolutely Right. Please share this episode with someone who is struggling to be calm and deal with their situation. Share your experience and send your questions to me on my Instagram handle @Aditi Surana. And to know more about my work with individuals and organizations, you can visit the website aditisurana.com. If you like this podcast, then don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are @IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Let's connect on Wednesday. Till then, happy writing!